sneaking suspicion that you guys already know what time it is. Right now, please put your hands together for the lovely, talented, and hilarious Briana Buckmaster and Kim Rhodes! What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come through back up? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come through back up? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come through back up? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come
Thank you, good night!
That was perfect.
Thank you. Jason has taught me everything I know vocally.
Yeah, Jason made the mistake of putting me on one of his albums and telling me he thought I could sing, and now I won't fucking shut up.
That little jig I just did has tuckered me out so much. That's what I do for you fuckers. Yeah, god damn it. Yeah,
Wait, so who just met us? Who's meeting us right now for the very first time? Okay, some very tentative woos. All right. Okay.
You came on stage and they were like,
no. Yeah. No matter.
No, thank you.
No matter how frightening we are, we will probably not come out to the audience and spank you.
I'm not making that guarantee at all. Exactly.
But look, if you just tuckered yourself dancing, you gotta pace
A
yourself.
spank is worth it, baby.
Okay, well, never mind. Fuck off, you're all in trouble.
What a bunch of perverts. Okay, we got Vegas in the house today. Who has already been to the strip club? This?
Yes, now that's how you woo, everybody. That is how you fucking woo.
That's how you woo. She's very proud of herself, or they, and I'm proud of you as well. How drunk are you right now? High. Okay. High or hot? Gummies.
Oh, good. Well done.
She's high. Great.
We're really funny if you're fucked up.
funny.
So by all means, go right ahead.
Imbibe. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right. Well, I'm Briana. This is my best friend Kim.
Hello.
I have candies in my mouth, which is just how I am 90% of the time.
And we did not call ahead.
No,
This just happened. It
yes.
fucking happened. Look at us.
Are we
We're
the best?
twins.
Get a picture. Get a fucking picture. Thank you. My Instagram is @officialbrianab. I want you to tag me. Only if I look cute though, okay? I'm probably gonna walk a lot in this panel.
Okay, good.
Because I feel like if I sit, I will fall asleep. I don't know, I just get that like feeling about myself.
I'm mad that my chair won't spin easily. I'm gonna try this
Hold
one.
on.
Hold on. I want to try this one. This one might spin more easily because I'm.
Is it worse?
No. They fucking.
They did us dirty, Kim. Can we get a spinning seat? That is not a euphemism.
No. Wait. No, because then I perseverate and no questions get asked. I just sit up here going wee for the entire fucking panel. So fuck.
Remember when we used to only stand and kick things in our panels?
I do.
And we got 5 years older and we're like, where's the walker?
Hard. Sounds very hard.
And I was like, if I sit too long, I'll fall asleep. It's funny because it's true. Did you think you were going to ask questions today? Do you think that's
Somebody
true?
does.
All
They're
right.
very far away, aren't they?
Feels like it. They are in the dark. What? What?
Well, I guess.
Wait, watch this. Yeah? Oh, God, this is also 5 years ago that it worked. Oh. Hold on, I got you.
I wish I was on that side.
That's how Kim was born. Okay, I'm sorry. Hello.
Hi. So I gotta say thank you, Kim, for an awesome horseback riding experience.
Was it fun?
Amazing.
I heard it was so fun. Does everybody know that Kim does horseback riding, or she did an event for this convention?
Yes.
That was a horseback riding event.
Yeah, it was very lovely. You're
I'm
welcome.
glad you
Thank you for
went.
being there. It was so relaxing and calm and beautiful, and I was like, oh, my favorite people and my favorite thing, and it's all happening. So thank you for being a part
Oh,
of
I
it.
totally was waiting for a butt.
No.
There's no butt.
No, there was no
That
butts.
is
There
high
were horse
praise.
butts.
High praise.
There were horse butts. There were bit butts, and there were sore butts, but no butts.
No butts. Back to you.
So we were discussing, that you love horseback riding and everything, but maybe Briana doesn't quite maybe enjoy it as much.
I told them that you got the horse. There's always, in every trail ride, there's always one horse that's a fucker. And
it's Briana.
And I said, Briana went riding with us once and she got the fucker horse. And she was so game, but we finished and she was like, we're not doing that again.
No. I disagree. I don't think I got the fucker horse. They gave me, because I am not well versed in the world of horseback riding, so they gave me one of the slower, older horses. But I guess what I've heard is that the horse was not going when I told it to go. Was that what you mean by being a fucker horse?
You were being played by that horse. That horse was a fucker.
God damn it. Every time. Yes. But mostly my complaints were, this is really fun. How much longer is it? Because it was like 2 hours. I was like, why are we on a horse for 2 hours? I was like, what do we do? What are we supposed to do? Kim's like, you're doing the thing. This is the doing.
This is great.
Yeah.
When do we start doing the thing?
But my knees started to hurt. My knees started to ache, and I was like, oh, I can't take much more of this. But I'm glad I went, and I would go again, only to then complain about my knees, to just confirm. Anyway, was there a question that you wanted to ask? Or?
So if you could ride any animal historically or fantasy or anything other than a horse, what would it be and why? For both of you.
Do you mean you do? I just want to clarify because we are in Vegas. You mean ride, not ride, right?
I'm gonna answer ride.
I was gonna say we need to make sure that the whooshy air quotes around that are clarified for either one of those.
Yes, Kim does declare herself an amusement park ride occasionally. For those who were at the PJ party last night. That's what you get when you come to the PJ party. Little do you know. Anyway, animals that I would like to ride. Diane, don't be a pervert. Humans or animals, she said. Trying to think of
is there a guarantee I won't die?
Yes, you're.
Oh, okay, all right.
totally
Again,
safe.
my brain is now
she's just like, can I fucking sit down now? Answer the question, ladies.
I mean, mine is a dragon.
A dragon's a good one. Yes.
Right.
That was what I immediately thought of. But then I was like, when you watch cartoons and they are climbing something large and they have to hang on to it by its fluff. I was trying to think of an animal like that, and my first thought was Clifford the Red Dog.
Ooh, yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Because they liked it.
Yeah,
Final answer.
I like Clifford. Oh, God. That was exhausting.
Yes.
We're spent.
I'll save the other answer for tonight.
Yeah, the whooshy. We'll talk about, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be between me and Kim. Hello.
Hello. My question is mostly for Kim because I assume Bree has not gone. But Kim, what's your favorite part of wildlife safari in Oregon?
Wildlife safari in Oregon, the cheetah run.
The cheetah run?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so has anyone been to the wildlife park in San Diego attached to the zoo? Right? Yeah. Let's make that look like shit. That is not, it's big, there's a lot of stuff, but it's well curated, but this is the wildlife safari in Oregon is one of the, I can ask you, is one of the top cheetah breeding?
It is. It's actually #1 in the country.
One in the country.
237 cubs, I believe.
Yes, it's like 1 in the country and 3 in the world or something like that. 2 in the world. 1 in the country, 2 in the world for breeding cheetahs. And we all know one of the best things you can see when you're looking at cheetahs is the support puppy. So you get two experiences with one. There's like cheetah, majestic, bringing back into the wild, and puppies. There's nothing wrong with that. So, and also the wildlife safari, the other thing I did enjoy was the feeling of being, taking my life into my own hands when you roll down your windows and you have a cup of food, because you can buy food for some of the grazing animals that include big birds and things with horns that look sort of like goats but aren't goats, and they just fucking crawl in your car and help themselves. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Have you guys read the book Untamed? Anybody? Yes. So do you understand the cheetah reference that she talks about at the beginning of that? That's what it reminded me of, where she's watching cheetahs, and the cheetahs are going after, this one cheetah gets let out of her cage and goes after a stuffy.
Oh, yeah.
Have you read this or heard about
No,
it?
but I know the phenomenon of which you speak.
Yeah, it's just like, it's basically an analogy for women being cheetahs. Like, we're told to do one thing, and then we're told you just have to stay in the parameters of this one thing that I've taught you, but ultimately you're like, no, I'm a fucking cheetah. Anyway, so I love that you said that cheetahs are your favorite. Thanks so much!
Thank you for what you do. Hi. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so before my question, I just want to say, like, I literally love Jody and Donna so much. Like, every episode that you guys were in was my favorite. But my question is, if you could be a different character in Supernatural, who would you be, and why do you think you'd be, like, a good fit for that character?
I would be, personally, I would like to play the character who makes the most money on the show. And I think I would be really good at it because I'm very good at spending money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like, he's so good at it, but I would like to play Lucifer. Just because, you know, people forget that Lucifer was an angel, right? And I would like to play Lucifer angelically, just with the most amount of love as I pop your eyeballs out with my thumbs, my child. Like, that's what I'd like. I think it would be fucking scary.
Oh. And you'd be so good at it.
It would be fun.
And it is fun for actors who normally play, I know you have played some evil characters, but on Supernatural, we both play like kind of the good guy, and it's fun to not play the good guy. There is, have you guys seen the TV show Mean Girls? So the casting of Lindsay Lohan's character, I don't remember that character's name, when they are casting it, Rachel McAdams, who plays Regina, what's it? Katie. Rachel McAdams auditioned for Katie, and they thought, she's so nice, it would be better for her to play the mean girl. And that's why she's so unbelievable in that role, is because they asked her to play it as the nicest person on the face of the planet.
I have a story. Who in here knows High School Musical? I actually coached Ashley Tisdale on her Sharpay audition, because she wanted this so badly, and Disney wasn't going to look at her because she was a nice girl. Disney, and she's like, they don't believe that I can play this. And I'm like, don't play it nice. Play it, smile, never stop smiling. Come on, let's see. And she, like, to her credit, I didn't coach her much further than that, because I kind of gave her that little nugget, and she was like, oh, Kimmy, I got it. And then that is how that creation of, like, Sharpay came into being, with her genius, and just explaining that, like, bad guys always think they're the hero of their own story. They're all the main character, right? So you just gotta learn how to be the main character.
All of the people who I think are the worst people in my life, everybody else thinks is the nicest. Does anybody have people like that? Fuckers. They get it.
Hi, thank you.
I don't know who asked that.
Yes.
Thank you,
Was that-
honey.
yes.
Great question.
Thank you. Hello.
So first I want to say you guys, aside from, well, Jared and Jensen, you're probably the reason I come to these, so thank you.
Yeah, who's Jared and Jensen again? Who do they play?
You have so many words of wisdom. I always try and listen real carefully because you throw little things out there. And so my question is, if you could offer a little piece of wisdom on life, how is it that you stay, so strong as a person and a woman and maintain your self-identity, but then at the same time don't let yourself be bitter and let things kind of beat you down? Because you always seem to maintain such a good balance.
I would say that that is being a very good actor. I think that balance is something that is sold to women to keep us busy, and I don't think it's that attainable. And I think that what happens is sometimes you got it going on, and sometimes you're fucking sinking. And I think unfortunately that does happen to women more, but we're sold kind of this kind of fantasy of balance. And I don't really think it exists, but I do think that what you have to do is allow for the shitty parts of life to happen and not identify with them as being who you are. So when you're going through something that's shitty, you go, guess I'm going through something that's shitty, It doesn't change who I am. And that way you don't have to rely on the illusion and the aspiration of balance, because I think that it doesn't exist. With the confidence stuff, I do think something that I've heard recently, which I find very helpful. What I used to say a lot was confidence is a muscle and you need to exercise that muscle. But the thing to utilize to exercise it is confidence requires proof. So when you are wanting to become more confident about yourself or about something, it is much harder to go, I want to be better at public speaking, so I'm going to stand in front of, 400 people. That's way harder to then go, I now am good at public speaking, because it's probably going to make you really nervous. So by going, I want to be better at public speaking, so I'm going to tell a story to my extended family at Thanksgiving dinner. And I think those little things, and having outcomes that are what you hope for, you have to collect those. And you have to consciously collect those, because our brains are wired to remember shitty things that happen to us as opposed to the wonderful things that happen to us. So I have something called a love drawer, that when somebody says something very kind or complimentary, I put it in my love drawer, in my brain, put it in my love drawer, so that when I'm feeling shitty about something, I gotta go to my love drawer and remember a nice thing that somebody said about me and go, that's true. Not this thing that's happening to me, because I don't want to identify with that. I want to identify with this thing. Anyway, confirmation for confidence requires proof, and the way to do that is by doing little things that you know that you can do. Teeny, teeny, teeny little things where you go, I did it. Don't jump to the big thing. Go to little things every day that you know that you can do, and do them. Thank you for that fucking TED Talk, Jesus Christ.
I love all that. I think the only thing I would add is you used the word, you're both so strong. And I want to reevaluate what the word strong is. Briana has pointed this out, is that we so often interpret strong as being impervious. And there's so much strength in vulnerability. There is so much strength in saying yes to the experience I'm having right now. I say this all the time, painful shit is painful. Heavy shit is heavy. It doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong. It doesn't mean I'm bad. Being strong means willing to grow. I am strong. Every single one of us in this room is a mighty fucking river, and we will continue to grow. Don't base the word strong on what I see out there, knowing that if I give my heart permission, if I say yes to what it's saying, if I am just willing, that is exercising strength, and I will grow. So strong is in the growth. It is not in the achievement. And I like to reframe it that way.
Fucking love it.
And I still would ride a dragon. Okay, sorry.
Hi, I'm nervous. I'm sorry. My daughter has way more balls than me at 10, so I usually don't get up and ask questions, but it's so nice to meet you guys. You guys are
You're doing great.
awesome, and
I love that you chose to be inspired by your daughter.
Always. It's
beautiful.
Well, I love you. We love you. I guess my question was going to be is what if you have like the most special memory you have on set doing the filming of Supernatural, or whether it was together or just, I don't know, for both of you to answer, like special memory, iconic.
I never want to repeat for people who are here, but you know, some things you just have to fucking suck it up and listen. So this is the best stuff. My favorite, should we recreate the moment we met or recreate our 3 o'clock history? I love those, both of those. The 3 o'clock history. The 3 o'clock history was when we first were working together. We were like, 3 o'clock, we're gonna cookies? Cookies. And go get 3 o'clock cookies. And it was so simple and lovely, but 3 o'clock cookies.
And it was, this is what she's talking about when we met, which is the episode Hibbing 911, where our characters met. Greatest episode. Kim and I also met, and of course had known so much about each other. And I think Kim was a little more wary of me than I of her, but obviously clicked.
But that's scams. Like, I'm just in general a very frightened, insecure person.
You
That's
were.
okay.
I think you were.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think that, in my experience of you, I don't think that stands.
I'm growing.
as strong. You sure are, baby.
See how that works?
You sure are. Yes. But immediately clicked, and we're just like, I remember being just like we are now, where we just couldn't stop talking about things, and knew and had things in conversation to offer and perspectives that the other hadn't really heard. Also loved watching you with the crew, because Kim has been in the industry longer than I have, and so I was still figuring out. I'm good at peopling. I'm good at I'm very, very, very good at disarming people. It's always been a magic power of mine. And so it's also like, I don't understand status. And so my brain just goes, what? I don't care if you're rich and famous. And people tend to like that. And so that was never a problem. However, in terms of crew, this is who you listen to, this is who has important information for you, as opposed to this is who's important. Kim was very good at I always paid attention to that, because she is good at treating everybody amazingly, but knowing who to really listen to at work. And
who's gonna solve the problem and who thinks they're gonna solve the problem?
Yes.
And who's gonna be a fucking problem?
Who's gonna be a problem? Am I the problem?
Is it me?
But we immediately, I remember Kim once was telling me about the conventions, and she was like, oh, they're great. They're great. It's like the entire fandom goes, they're so wonderful, they're so welcoming, they'll love you, you'll replace me, and it'll be fine. And I was like, I don't know, maybe they'll just have 2 women on stage. And she was like, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. And now it's here, 8 years later. Suckers. Yeah, so I don't know, that was just the best. There's so many great memories. There she is.
You apologizing for cussing. I enjoy that memory.
That's right. The episode where Donna meets Jody, tries to give her a lollipop. There was a whole thing with the mark, and like I said, being new to TV, hitting your mark, you have to literally do exactly like it sounds. You have a piece of tape on the floor, and you have to walk during your line to that spot so that the camera and lighting gets you, but you can't look down at the mark.
Well, and this was, you were holding something up, so you had to hit a mark in space.
That's right.
Because the camera was focused on this point in space, so if she was too close anywhere else, the thing would not be in focus. And so it's harder than it sounds.
And it is literally, they hire and don't hire actors based on how well they can hit their mark. Because time is money. You have to keep coming back and hitting your mark. They're gonna be like, fuck it, just get a new actor. That's how disposable we are. Anyway, I kept practicing, kept trying to do it, and inevitably didn't get it right. And I went, fuck me. And I looked at Kim and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I swear a lot. To which she responded,
Oh, you just met me, didn't you?
and then we went for cookies and the rest is history. It was good. That was a good episode. Most of my fun memories are from that episode and Wayward Sisters. Yes, fuck yes. But that was a fun all-around episode. Also, the boys were in fine form because they hardly had to work that episode.
Oh yeah, that was when Jared kept trying to kick the sign.
Oh yeah, we all had to hold. Production had to hold so Jared could see if he could kick a sign over his head.
He did.
He did. Took a while.
He did.
And that's when we, Kim and I, if you watch that episode again, you'll notice that Jody and Donna get in the backseat of Baby, and then when we get out, we're on opposite sides. And so we were like, we made a joke that we were like, a Rhodes scissor, which the boys loved. Yeah, there was lots of goodies from that episode.
Hi, shenanigans.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi. So my question was originally for Kim, but Briana, you want to answer it? You can. So, aside from learning monsters are real, what piece of knowledge learned from the boys do you think Jolie values the most? And Kim, the same thing for Donna as well.
A piece of information that Jody learned from the boys that she values the most. I mean, I don't know if you can sing along with this chorus, but family don't end with blood. Like, you make your own, and you love them, and you hold them, and you fight like fuck to make sure they never die. That's your family.
It's funny because I was gonna say a similar thing, but so in the episode where Donna and Doug 2 break up, it's because she chooses hunting over Doug. But also, she is also choosing the community that I think that she knows in her heart will be there for her more than a romantic relationship. Not only, I don't think she's just choosing like work over a relationship. I think she's choosing a life, you know, over a relationship. And I want to say a man, but I think that's too easy. I think that she did have feelings for Doug, and I think that was really hard for her. But I think, yeah, I think similar. I think those boys taught her that family, community, as much as they fucking piss you off, if it's the right family and community, that you will be there for each other for life. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Can you get that for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
So my question is to both of you, if you have maybe any kind of film projects coming up, TV, movies, because I have a petition.
Let's hear it.
I want to see you girls on The Boys.
Sexy. Here's the thing. I love so much that people tell me what jobs I should do. I don't have fuck all. I don't have an agent. That's how to get. Tell Eric Kripke.
You have to tell.
Kripke.
It's not up to us. And also, Phil is our friend, and he is, I think, trying or would. I've had conversations with him about it. I think you have as well.
See, like they just a couple of fucking, you think they're bumbling hitters come through town where they're just like, woo, we're wacky, one's old, one's funny, blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out we fuck some shit up and then we leave. I would like to do that.
For one episode? Like, we don't even have to be like the guest stars. We could just be like side pieces. You know? I love it. I think they're for it, but here's the thing. Even though Phil is an executive producer, there's still the network, the studio. There are so many people that need to sign off on an actor. And because that show is like such a hot show right now, I think there's probably a lot of actors that want to be in it. So I'm with you. I'm manifesting Kim and Briana do cameos on The Boys as a duo. I think that would be amazing, right? But I'm going to put it in your hands, specifically you. What's your name? Charisse. Thank you so much, Charisse. So I will expect an offer by end of week. Thank you so much. And I love it. And I do have a lot of like auditions. Mostly auditioning is my full-time job. Because in Vancouver, it's different than LA. Vancouver has a lot of productions, and they'll bring the leads in from Los Angeles, but everybody else gets cast in Vancouver, and there aren't as many actors as there are in LA, so you audition constantly. And now in the world of self-tapes, unfortunately, they'll go, sure, we'll see a tape from everybody, and they won't actually see those tapes, so you're just constantly auditioning. But I do have a lot of auditions, so I had 7 last week. So we'll fucking see. Again, I'm gonna put that responsibility on you, Charisse, okay? Thank you so much. Call my agent. Bye.
Hi. So I met you guys both for the first time last month in Nashville. You guys both are lovely.
Was that last month?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because think of your timeline. Think of
So much has happened. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you.
Love you both. Don't think I've ever laughed so much in a panel, so
Yay.
I appreciate that.
We aim to please.
So I just wanted to know what you guys think, like if you as people, like, you know, Kim
Oh,
and
I'm already in
Briana-
trouble.
Kim and Briana, if they met Jody and Donna, what would they think? Would they like each other? Do you think they would get along?
Do you mean this as a foursome, or as like Kim would meet Jody, would they get along?
Yeah.
But I think Kim and Jody, I think Kim would like Jody more than Jody likes Kim. I think Jody would think Kim was a little bit much and should take it down a few fucking notches.
I think Briana and Jody, I think Jody would not like Briana, but again, Briana would do her magical thing of disarming people who are kind of scary or scared. Usually scary people are scared. And go, I'm actually super fun. You know what? You're gonna love me.
I think Jody would like Briana more than she likes Kim, quite frankly.
I think
she'd be like, they'd knock back a few whiskeys and they'd be great. And
why do you think Jody wouldn't like him?
Because I'm very weird. And there's I think
she would understand you,
yeah, I don't
maybe?
think she'd understand. I don't think she'd dislike me. I just don't think she'd be like, hey, we're besties, let's share cooking tips. She'd be like, you telling me for fun you pick up goat shit? Yeah. Okay?
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
And I think that Briana would really like Donna, but Briana has done so much work in healing all of her stuff that she would see Donna and go, it's okay, you're okay. Because I think Donna is still a bit of a people pleaser, or Briana has healed that. And I think that I would be very compassionate to Donna, who still has some work to, who is still undeniably great at what she does, but still has some people pleasing stuff to do.
Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Yes,
Thank you.
Slate your questions.
What do you think Kim would think of Donna?
What would Kim think of Donna? I think the same thing. I think Kim and Donna would actually might be the best. The best duo,
I thought
right
that
there.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
They both like just talk about goats.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah. Feels. So many feels.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello?
Hi. So first off, thank you for the PJ party last night. It was my first one,
Thank you for being
and
there.
You're welcome.
really appreciated it. There were some personal things that you guys talked about that I
We
felt
will not repeat in this room.
No.
we didn't say anything
just
personal.
say that we're very relatable. And so
The thing about the PJ party is we do have a section of the party where we gossip. but we've told them that they cannot repeat anything. You have to pay for that privilege.
So it made me just think of a personal question. And so, it's for either of you. What have you done or do you do to help with any ebbs and flows that you may have had if you have ever not felt good enough in groups of people throughout your life? And due to either bullying or negativity that you've had to deal with in your life?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, about a year and change ago, I got my official autism and ADHD diagnosis. So I have the little entitled fucking piece of paper confirming what I already knew. So, side note, self-diagnosis is perfectly valid, and a fucking diagnosis that is official is a point of privilege. Noted, okay? But one of the things that taught me is something that I think everyone can benefit from. I assume, I don't know, actually, I don't fucking understand how y'all work, but I'm going to offer this by saying I was given permission to acknowledge the rules I've been trying to win by actually don't fucking ascribe to me. I don't have to play by those rules. In fact, I can take my fucking ball and go home. Because so much of my social insecurity was like, what do you need me to be? What do you need me to be? I'm not being it yet, am I? I don't understand what your expectations are, and yet I know I'm supposed to meet them, and I'm failing, and you don't like me because I'm failing, and I'm weird. Fuck you. I just give myself permission not to play anymore. It's like I told my doctor, I said, I've been spending my whole life around these monkeys that are climbing a tree. And some of them are like, ha ha, you're not climbing very well. And some are like, come on, honey, if you just try hard enough, you can climb the tree. And some are just ignoring me. But the entire fucking time, I've been like, I can't climb the tree. Everybody else can climb a tree. And finally somebody came along and was like, you're a fish. Come to the water. So, for anyone who feels not good enough, or not right, or not fitting in, baby, stop trying to play with the monkeys. You're a fish. Go swim.
Thank you. I don't really have much to add. I think that's a perfect answer. I think that my answer for younger Briana when she was being bullied in school would be very different than my answer as you experienced last night. My answer when I was in school was like to hide and apologize for my existence and attempt to make myself as small as humanly possible. And my answer now is to get even bigger, to make sure that I am seen and heard and that my words are effective so you don't fuck this shit up again. And often I will flip a table, yes. Take up space, motherfuckers! Hello.
Hi. Firstly, I'd like to just thank you for see, I told you I was in a little cry. Portraying strong, positive female law enforcement professionals that don't kowtow to the pervasive toxic masculinity that the profession is full of. And my question is, if you could go back to day one and know that you were going to be an ongoing character on the show, and know that you would have a continuing storyline on Supernatural, would you hope to push your characters in any different direction or change anything?
Please hold.
So if on our first, like if we got cast and we got the role, so here's the process of being cast on the show is you get the audition, which is usually just sides. You don't get the full script. And for, I can't speak of Kim, but for my particular character, it was such a tiny part that it didn't have an arc or anything like that. I was really just put in the script to relay information. It was me and Phil who then, and the writers actually,
who created the character, and the character is what got moved. So that first episode, while Donna did have kind of her journey at the spa, I think that I would want Donna's characterization of being a woman in a fat body to be less interesting. Who fucking cares? Like, I don't think it's necessary, and I do appreciate that we wanted to have women in the media representing normal bodies, but I think it's atrocious that a woman such as myself is being considered a big character. Do you know what I mean? I don't take offense to that. I'm very body neutral, but I think that we need better representation of women in fat bodies on television. And yeah.
And that's not the story.
And that's not,
that the body
not
isn't actually a story.
Do you guys remember Cameron Manheim? Yeah. She was the first for me. I was in school, and she was the first woman I ever saw on television that was a woman in a fat body, that was a lawyer, and some of the storylines was about her body, but mostly she was just a professional on a TV show. I'm like, can we do more of that? And eventually they did move away from having to comment on Donna's body in every episode, and that was refreshing. But I think it was useful and funny. And like I said, I take no offense. I think I'm fucking fire all the time. I take no offense. I am very body neutral. So I don't apply worth to any seasons of whatever my body's experiencing. But I really enjoyed playing whatever they wanted me to do because I'm a comedian and I thought it was all fun and funny. But I don't think it's necessary to move plot forward. I don't think it's necessary to bring up in every episode that she's in. And I'm glad that we moved away from that. I think that I would have liked if we moved away from that sooner. Final answer.
Yeah, I think that Jodie's trajectory, each step really relied on the step before, so I can't think of anything I would have changed for Jodie. I wish she'd been around a little more, but I loved her and I loved the journey that she got to go on and who she started as and who she became. So I wouldn't. Thank you though.
Thank you, honey. Hello.
Hi, my question is for both of you actually, but first for Kim. I know you were on Star Trek Voyager, big Star Trek nut. Anyways, what was the experience like working around Kate Mulgrew, and was there anything that stuck out that she said, being that she's such a great philosopher?
Okay.
And my second part of the question is, I know Briana didn't work on Star Trek, but who in your life that you've run across was a great mentor?
Okay, I'm gonna be, is that the whole question? Or do you have more questions? Okay, I didn't wanna be like, quick note, and then bigger question. Kate Mulgrew was fucking amazing. I actually go into great detail, so Garrett and Bob have you heard that, do you know that they have a podcast? What's it called? Help me out. Delta Flyers. Okay, so there is a podcast that they do about every single episode of Star Trek Voyager. And recently I was on it for my episode and I talked apparently a little way too much because now I've got people that didn't know I existed for the last decade and a half being like, how dare you have an opinion on this thing? And I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, I opened my mouth. That's not the way it happened at all. I was like, maybe, I don't know, I was just talking. But it's called Delta Flyers. So you can find a long version. The short version is, she was amazing. She took me under her wing, she supported me, she showed me everything from details of how to make sound department happy so you don't fuck up your line and have to ADR stuff, to advocating for me to actually be a part of the show. So she was amazing. I wrote her a fan letter after I was done, and I left it on her trailer and ran away. I love her. She was, and the best thing is that she probably doesn't fucking know I even exist.
I doubt that.
No, but, no, truly, because and yet she made such an impact on me in such a positive way. I remember that even to this day in how I deal with people. It's like, I might not, there's so many people who laugh at me, they're like, you know my name. I'm like, nope, don't, it's gone, it's out of my brain. But we have had such an intimate, honest, present connection that I know we're in each other's hearts. So I don't sit around and think, does Kate still know I exist? I just know that she profoundly affected me. And will be eternally grateful for her presence. And she's a fucking rock star.
I've had many mentors. I couldn't think of one. I had mentors when I was in high school, in theater school. I couldn't think of one that is like my mentor throughout life, but in terms of acting mentors, I, right out of school, worked with a theater company called Teatro La Quindicina. And they like to hire company members that become part of their core company, and you do a few shows with them every season. I worked with them. I mean, I could still go back and work with them. I did a show with them like 3 years ago. They're wonderful, have become a very close friend of mine, but the director is also the playwright for the company, and he's a very well-known playwright in Canada. His name's Stuart Lemoyne, and he is so fucking funny in a very kind of British style of sarcasm, old school style of comedy. But I remember rehearsing one of his plays, and I did the thing that I tend to do, which is a little overacting, a little elbows, waka waka. And he looked at me and he went, Briana, just say the words. He said, I've done the work for you. Just say the words. And while that's not always true, I think that it's a beautiful way to look at acting as a whole, because we as actors tend to be a little ego-driven, and we think that we need to bring ourselves to the role. We need to do so much. Also, that's because we've been told you have to work harder and be better and be prettier and be more and be all these things that you're not. So you're constantly putting on hats to win the role. When actually especially if you've already gotten the part, they've got you. They want you. Just be you. And I just think it's such a beautiful thing to apply to life. Just say the words. Just be you. Don't try so hard. Thank you.
Hi. I'm Lois. This is my first con, and I just want to say that I have the biggest crush on both of you.
Thank you.
Last year I went through a bit of a bad time, and your characters really helped me get through that. And I was wondering, totally off topic, but I was wondering what your favorite episode, scene, or even blooper was to film together.
The favorite episode, scene, or blooper was to film together.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you tell.
Okay, so there was a scene that Jody had with Dean. Now, every time I was on set, I extorted Briana to come visit me. Because
if that's not true. I would, every time she was in Vancouver filming, I was like, can I come visit you on set?
Yeah, so she was, okay. So there was a scene where Dean and Jody are talking in Jody's kitchen. And I had already told the director, I was like, because I'm very cautious of fucking with other people's stuff, right? So I went to the director and was like, can we do this thing? And he was like, that's hilarious. I'll be prepared to film it. And so he knew, so Dean and Jody have the scene, and we reach the end of our lines, and I paused for a second so that they could, cut the scene, and then I was like, great, could you finish up in here? Because I have a date. And he was like, yeah, who? Briana walks around the corner, goes, hey, babe, and I'm like, hi, honey. And then she, as the inspired comedian she is, looks at Jensen and gives him this. Like, I will fuck you up if you touch my woman. And we walk out, and Jensen, being the fucking comedian he is, knowing they're still rolling, watches us walk out and then turns back to the camera and goes, and starts drying dishes. So that's
Such a brilliant response.
Yeah.
To have like no opinion, but just go,
Huh, well, I guess things have happened since I've been here last. Cool, okay.
yeah, that was the best. That was the only like prank, because as Kim said, we are guests in their house and time is money, and so pranks also cost money, and I don't want to spend other people's money. So.
And I am not good. It all makes sense. I'm not good at reading tone in room, so like I'll do something that's I think a wacky hijink, and I will have just fucked up a 15-hour setup because I thought something would funny, and just all I do is piss people off. So I don't even try. I don't try anymore. I'm like, oh, I read that wrong. So I don't. This was the only time that I've ever tried, but it worked. It was fun.
There was one scene in Plush. Is that what it's called? Thank you. Where it's fucking Stretch and Blondie, Dean and Sam, and brain fart. Okay. And they were talking to me about Doug. Oh, Doug comes in and they're like, "What's going on there? Did you guys see those bloopers?" So they come, it's the scene where they're just asking about Doug 2. Like, oh, I think Doug 2's into you. And I'm like, I am just talking about business. And anyway, that was the last scene of the day, and they just decided they were gonna fuck with me. So Jensen, of course, was like making like, oh, it looks like you and Doug are He was doing that. And I just kept going, what are you trying to say? I don't understand what. And there was another take where they went, what's going on with you and, oh, what's his name? And they gave him some like perverted name. And I was like, I don't think that's right. Did you check his badge? And then another one where Jared, stand up for a second. So you're me and I'm Jared. So I was just saying my lines and Jared was like saying it. And then he just kept going like this during my lines because the coverage was tight and he just kept like going like this. But I didn't laugh and I walked off and the whole crew started to cheer, and then I got a text message from Phil who watched the dailies and he was like, good job holding your own against those fuckers. Yeah, God damn it. Don't mess with me. Anyhow. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Grace, and first I wanted to say thank you for the pajama party.
You were so
for
good.
coming.
Thank you.
Okay. My question is, if you could turn any experience from your life into a television show or movie, what would it be and why?
If I could turn any experience from my life into a television show or movie, I'm just repeating the question because well, we both think.
Okay.
What would it be?
I have written something. I can't believe that I just thought of this. Is that my writing partner actually lives in Los Angeles, and she drove up to Vegas today so that we can work a little bit this weekend. And during the pandemic, we wanted to write a script for Hallmark because Hallmark shoots a lot in Vancouver. They produce such a crazy amount of features that they're always looking for new scripts. We're like, great, let's write something for them, a rom-com. But then it started to have a lot of swear words in it, so we're like, maybe not Hallmark then. Anyway, we were writing it to take place in the States, thinking it will sell better if we write it to be at like, somewhere in Idaho or something. And then we recentered it to take place in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, which is where I'm from. And so now a ton of the characters are based on characters. A ton of the sets where everything takes place is in Moose Jaw. What happens in the movie is not what happened to me. But
yeah, it was really fun to then, because we also talked to Canadian film funding. We were developing with them for about 6 months because Canadian likes a certain amount of Canadian content. Netflix has an agreement that Canadian Netflix has to have a certain amount of Canadian content. So we're like, great. And they loved that it took place in Moose Jaw. We're like, we can actually shoot it in Moose Jaw. How many times can I say Moose Jaw and you guys just love this, right? To me, it's hysterical because I grew up there. It's this small city of 30,000. And yeah, so maybe that will happen one of these days. Yeah!
I don't really remember. Yeah, no, like most of I'm like, oh, that'd make it, oh no, too dark. Oh,
too
no,
dark. I was just thinking that.
Too dark.
Too dark.
Most of my stuff, I'm such a shiny
What about the farm stuff?
The farm stuff is pretty interesting. But
then you bring in the
But it might end up being dark, so we don't know. So no, don't know. I work on I volunteer at a farm now. It's called, if anybody has any free money after this weekend, it's STAT, S-T-A-T, Save the Animals Today.
S-T-A-T.
Save the Animals Today. It's a horse refuge rescue. Every animal on that farm would be dead if it weren't on that farm. Every animal either was gonna die or its owner died. But I'm in charge of all the non-horse, I'm not in charge. I do the waters for all the non-horse animals. But I don't know. I do think that most of, I don't think my life is a television show or a movie. I think it's a podcast. And fortunately, we have a podcast. Before we leave, should we tell them about the podcast?
Yes, we have a small
so we had a quick question. I had a quick question in my meet and greet, about whether or not we're ever going to do a podcast live again. A few people have asked. Cheryl asked too. And we now are allowed to announce that we are going to make the Wayward podcast part of Creation Events.
So starting in Atlanta on Friday evenings, Friday evenings, for karaoke on the stage, the main stage, we will be doing a live podcast record with you guys.
Yeah. Don't clap too hard. We're gonna make you fucking pay for it. But
we don't know if it's gonna be good.
Yeah, we don't know, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna fucking rock. It's gonna be brilliant. But yes, the podcast will be, and that's where I spend most of my life, in podcast land.
That's right.
That's where my stories are appropriate because they're quick, painful, and then we can make a joke about them afterwards. We did it.
That's it.
Guys.
Excellent job, ladies. As always.
Thank you.
Y'all put your hands together for Miss Briana Buckmaster and Miss Kim Rhodes. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Listen, that's it. That's it. That's for the whole weekend. Everybody have safe flights home. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That's it for today's festivities on the stage until karaoke, which I'm sure you guys will all be coming to see what kind of shenanigans Gil gets up to. But until that time, thank you guys. We love you.